Welcome y'all to my first ever village tour for Disney Dreamlight Valley. We're recording this au naturel. I didn't even change my cozy sweatshirt for you because this is the reality of how I sit and play games 99.9% of the time. I wanted to give you the grand tour of Clark's little town because we've never done that, and Disney Dreamlight Valley is one of the games that I have so many hours in on, and I feel like I don't stream it enough because I genuinely just play it so much outside of stream. And I got some cool shit, honestly, that y'all need to see. So let's get started. I have tons of playthroughs of this game. I usually do the updates. We've done some custom content, but I work on this game so much outside of this. I also waited to do this for forever because I kept being like, oh no, I gotta wait for the perfect time. My island has to be perfect. It doesn't. This is a realistic island tour of someone who loves and grinds this game, but isn't over the top, you know? We're keeping it humble, okay? We've had this game since the jump. We've bought an aggressive amount of moonstones, and it is what it is. I just got this stuff from the Star Path with these cute little Toy Story things, and Himbo Kristoff is here to guide us as well, okay? What more do you want? He came to look right at y'all. Look at him. He said, hello? Are you ready for this tour? Let's get started. We're starting in the plaza. One of my favorite spots. Still, right now, it's May 31st, 2024. We're in the middle of the parks. What are these called? We're in the middle of the event with the parks where all the things are about like rides and stuff. And also we're on a day at Disney Star Path. So Oswald and Daisy just showed up. If you have the DLC, Oswald just showed up. Otherwise, it's just Daisy. And we all know what this started as. I decided to move Chez Remy over here. From the jump, I moved Chez Remy over here and put this little garden next to it. And I wanted it to kind of feel like it was like a farm-to-table restaurant. The balloons are a new addition, but I really also would like to put the path the full way back to the restaurant. I think that kind of came as a later thing because I was sick of running behind the building to get stuff. The clock tower, I think, just adds a nice break to this to kind of add more of like a town square vibe. Also, I love that in a couple minutes it will ding because it will be a round hour in real life, and I just love that about this game. This is my storage area. I recently added this because one of my mods, Slinky, told me that my storage system was completely out of control. It still kind of is, considering it's mainly made of small chests. But at least it's organized at this point. We have cooking and crafting, and everything has a place. It is quite full though. But I do think I have at least one of everything in the game, so don't add anything else. Store? We plopped her right next to it because I think these buildings all kind of have the same aesthetic. One of the first things I got in this game that I thought was so cool was this up balloon. I've just been obsessed with it from the jump. So we plopped her right in town square. I don't think she will ever move at this point. Maybe you'll see further a prospective place for it to go. But we needed the gold floor up to the store. Then we have Remy's house and the new boutique for Daisy. I think they looked like so similar. I decided to put them next to each other to make them look like one kind of cohesive building on a city street. And then we have our gold yellow brick road with my lights that I lovingly call the gay lights. because they need to know here that we're queer, okay? Otherwise, we just got some rides. Y'all know, if you know, you know, I had to get this when it came out because I am the biggest Nightmare Before Christmas fan. And we have Woody's house up here because it looks like a ride. It had to go up here. The only thing that's a slightly different thing is over here I put the Monsters Inc. house, mainly because it's so tall. It looks like a city building, and that's kind of the vibe of everything that's down here, so she had to go down here. When Mike and Sully showed up, they plopped their asses here in town square. And guess what? They got this cute little fountain to go with it. So what more do you want? Alright. Next we're gonna move down to the meadow. She's cute. I really like keeping the, what are these called? I want to call them water fountains. The wishing wells in line. I also like them to be in a convenient spot to actually show up to. That's not the case in all my spots, but we work with it. We have this cute little bike stop. We're gonna get you out of the way, ma'am. You can come pick up your bike and bike around town. I like to think that this is kind of like my little shop area. When I initially did this, I thought that we were going to be able to move all the stands from every, like, location and put them in the same spot. So this was kind of the original vibe. Now with this star path and the other stands, they're gonna get added down here too. And it's gonna kind of be like a main street vibe. Otherwise, I like to think this is kind of like our peaceful little bonus area. We put Buzz's RV outside of the garden because I think it's giving homesteader. You know? He sat here and he was like, I don't need 4 walls and general plug-in electricity. This is good. And he's got, oh, a button. I'm lacking in red buttons, so we will be picking those up along the tour. Otherwise, I like to keep this open because I fish down here a lot. I think that's just kind of realistic. This is something that I put in pretty early. I love these signs. They were from quests. I can't get over them. I'm leaving them here, okay? I have one of Donald over there too. I'm just leaving them. They add character, okay? I try to have, in most locations, try to have a DIY station or a cooking station or both. Just for running around the island, and initially I wanted them all to be kind of pretty like this, and this one has just stuck because I use it a ton. We also added the little picnic area back here to kind of fill space, make it feel more like a little garden lake picnic. Recently I just added Daisy's house down here. So she needs to add some pizzazz, you know, she needs landscaped in and such. But I like having her and Mickey like right on the same street, although I do think now that these lamps are a little too close. Maybe I'll widen the walkway. Oop, sorry y'all. And try that. But I like keeping all their houses down here because over here we have the Sensational Six all down here. We have Goofy, we have Minnie, Mickey. We don't have Donald. You'll see why. But it makes sense for them all to be here. Merlin just came with the OG, so he got stuck down here too. But my people love these stacks of books. This is like the hangout spot. I don't know why. And then we did this nice little corner for Encanto. I think this is so pretty. It's like a little tucked away Encanto land. Okay? Hey, just needed to make an appearance. Because I love that when you come over here it makes noises, but this house is massive. And like it's kind of its own vibe as well, so I wanted it to have like its own piece. Ariel just had to ruin my shot. take the shot, Clark. Okay, we're moving on. But then I also I didn't like how much space was over here, so we made kind of like their family hangout spot, you know? We got the table, little benches. I think this is like a fun little space, and like if you actually watch the movies, I feel like it genuinely is a reflection of like how they all would spend their time. So that's why I kept it like that. Alright, next, pick up the button. Next, we're going down to my house. We'll do a separate video of just all the rooms in my house because I don't want this video to be 2 hours. But this is my house. Like I said, huge Halloween fan. Huge Nightmare Before Christmas. Huge Haunted Mansion fan. And so, of course, when the Haunted Mansion came out, it was mine. Okay? And it will stay like that unless they give me the mayor's house. So we put Jack down here with us. Okay? So we've decided to make all of this kind of spooky, a little dark. The only person who lives down here with us is Mommy Gothel. In the tree, of course. And then I put Jack down here as well. I just love his house. And I built it up. He has his little cauldron. His little Christmas trees over there. Thank you for these buttons, Jack. Hold on. We gotta get these buttons and then we'll move on. These are hot commodities, everyone. Calm down. Okay? And it's just great. I love the big trees over here. I love that it's also right next to the beach. So out of the back of my house. Now, I know you can't see actually out of the back of your house, but I like to think that out of the back of my house. Also, huge Stitch fan. So, Stitch is my neighbor. What more do you want, okay? But we have ocean views out of the Haunted Mansion? What more do you want? I also love these little aliens down here, just like having a little day. They're just a fun little addition. This looks really cool at night when all the pumpkins light up. If y'all want to see that real quick. They are just so... Here, let's... Daytime, nighttime, everyone. Yeah, let's make it like 1 in the morning. Look at this at nighttime. Oh, it's so perfect. With the sky. Oh. I love her at nighttime. And the tree with the lights like this. Oh my god. She's gorgina. That's the whole thing of down here is like, I just really love that we get the best of both worlds with the spookiness and the prettiness. Like, this looks great in the daytime too. Nice and bright and colorful still. Otherwise, there's not much going on down here. I put the entrance to town down here just to add some pizzazz. But otherwise, I tried to make these little spooky alcoves with things from other, like, the first Halloween Star Path. If y'all were here for that, it was rough, okay? It was rough. This was basically what we got. These flop things. And so I've just kind of tried to make little scenes, but I also really like to leave openness for future people, because there's so many other villains who have the potential to come up here that I want to leave the space for them. Do love my thing of poor unfortunate souls sitting here though in the woods. I think that's fun. Otherwise, she's just pretty simple and cute. I love leaving room for growth, you know? And you know that there's gonna be so much. Alright, welcome to the beach, y'all. I got Stitch's house right tucked down here in this corner. Like I said, I love that you get this like cute little view of both of our houses next to each other. And of course we had to give him and I matching sunbathing things. And he's here for us. Okay? You know he loves it because he followed us here. But we had to give us a little sunbathing spot, a little surfing spot. And then Ariel's house. She's like... Oh, we're looking at Stitch. I just want to look at how cute my character looks in this outfit. But she's like the star of the show. So when you come down the stairs, I wanted it to be like kapow. I wanted this to be like a nice view. And I love how colorful and pretty her house is. And I love that you can add these purple bushes. So I just wanted it to be like a staple. And who doesn't want a statue of their man right in front of their house? I have a fourth one of these, but I thought 4 looked like too much. So we have this little hammock hangout spot for everyone. I also don't love to cram my island. Okay, like I've seen everyone who literally uses up every square inch of their island. And like, I love if that works for you, but for me, it's just a little too much. I still like room to run around and see stuff and do things, so we leave open space. That's just my personal preference. This is why we didn't put Donald up with everyone else. I know that you can put him in the ponds, but I had seen other people put his house at the end of the dock, and I just loved it. And I love the fact that I decided to put this little stand stuff here, because then I feel like it looks like he's like our commodities dealer, and you come here to pick up your things. It's like a seaside beach market, and I think it's very cute. Little just kind of decor area for some funsies. And then we have Moana with Hey Hey's house, but Hey Hey's running around with me, so we have the fruit turtle down here chilling. And I love that she's here, and then her little dining boat thing is here. So I told you guys I love having either a crafting station or a cooking station. I put the cooking station here, made it look like we're having sort of like an outdoor luau with the fish from the fishing boat. It just keeps it nice and broken up, gives it this pretty perspective. And then we just have some more rocks and stuff. I tried to keep characters like to where they seem like they belong. Out here, I put Maui's house because it has to go in the water. I've left these here. I don't know what y'all are doing with these things, but I've just left them here because I'm not putting them back in each individual spot at this point. So I guess they're living here for forever at this point. But I decided to put Maui's house right there because, one, it doesn't really look like a house. It kind of snugged right in there to look perfect next to this skull cave. And it's very rare that I have to go to Maui's house. I think that just worked out well. And then we still have Maui things all over the beach. Eric, I wanted to kind of tuck back in here because his castle kind of matches the rock formation. Like the color's kind of the same. So I wanted him a little bit tucked back, but I think we need to do like a sand path and sort of give him more front-facing stuff. Right now it's just kind of sitting there. He does have this nice area out to look at, but... Oh, and we just added our little hangout beach pavilion for him as well. So we can come have a nice little picnic, chill in the chairs, and we'll be safe. Our unmanned lifeguard chair is here, don't worry everyone. I did put Ursula's house down here, and I've tried I've tried really hard, everyone, to like turn it into something. I thought it'd be fun to kind of make this like a cursed sort of thing. To be like, you know, she wrecked this ship and took all the treasure. That's like the vibe, but I don't know how to make this still beach and spooky. So this is kind of a future build out project of what we could do here, but she has to stay on the beach. So we've just kept her there. Now up here is our biggest work in progress. With the current star path, I really want this area to be more built out. So currently, one of the first people who comes into the village is everyone from Frozen, Anna, Kristoff, and Elsa. And Elsa's little cave is back over there. So I wanted to keep the castle up here also, but like in the forest. So we did this and built this out. We have Kristoff's sled, and I sort of built out this area a little bit. And then when we got, that was kind of the end of it. This isn't even the whole way to here. Then when we got Belle and Beast, they came up and got this side of the forest because, again, it kind of goes with the movie. It makes sense. But I just felt like this area was lacking, and as you can see, it's still very kind of barren. So the plan now with the current star path is to expand the amusement park theme up here, but keep it princessy. So I've started adding more lights. We're gonna do more path, and we're gonna carry this path, I think, throughout, because I like the dark brown, but we need it to look more finished. And I think we're gonna start doing more amusement park stuff up here, because it just kind of makes sense to me. We're also running out of space in the plaza in the meadow, so the most logical thing is to bring it up here. And I love this fountain. I think this just like makes me think old 90s Disney World Park. So I think it makes sense for it to come up here and kind of build out this too. So that's the next project. So hopefully we'll have an update on that next village tour. Alright, y'all. Welcome to the Frosted Heights. The Frosted Heights becomes a mess all the time, which ticks me off because this area I have built out so much. Okay? But these things pop up like it's nobody's business, okay? They just, no matter how much, I don't want to put path everywhere to avoid these things, but they really ruin the vibe and the aesthetic. And I hate it. So, I don't love that the wishing well is here, but it kind of needed to be, so she's there. I put this here in the beginning of the game, like I added this ice thing here, and I put the tile down because if you were here when this game started, this tile thing was broken, and people all thought it was this super expensive, just like piece of flooring. And then when it finally got fixed and everyone realized it was a fountain, I've just left this here because it's like nostalgic to me now to think about that. So it stays. But we have a lot of wintry things. Like I also wanted a cooking station up here, but I wanted it to feel more like a fireplace. So we have these guys. Anything icy, I bring it up here, which I think makes sense to everyone. Yes? We have our little igloo space, which I think is so pretty. Added the little bench, you know, so you can hang out and fish. Like, I feel like this almost feels like a winter, like, glamping area, you know, with the igloo, the nice little spot, and the pond. It's very cute. Now, if you've seen some of my other YouTube videos, you know what this guy is, okay? We did this live on stream. We did a custom content build stream and built out what we lovingly called the Olive Garden gazebo, okay? And I think this is just like a nice little custom thing that just kind of filled out this corner over here. Keeps this like part of it, but just kind of filled out the space and actually made it cool, and I still love it. Then over here, again, I love keeping the stand like part of the area, so, and keeping it cohesive with the wishing well. That's like the only consistent thing I think I do in all of the spaces. Again, I hate these things. I don't know if y'all share my absolute misery in dealing with these dumb motherfuckers, but I hate them. I could break these every single day. They'll be here tomorrow. And then when Vanellope came, I wanted her to be up here. I don't know why. I don't know if they put her up here, if that was part of the gameplay. I think because she had ice cream house, I thought cold. Put her up where it's cold. But I love that she has like this, brings this little like pop of color up here. So I keep her with like some of the frozen aspects. But I love that I kept the racetrack too. And I want to add a second kind of different racetrack with a second car around it. I don't know if we have enough room though. I like to think this area is like 95% done, and I'm still really happy with it. Now we shall go to the Sunlit Plateau. Come along, everyone. We ran out of juice. Hold on, don't worry. I have shrimp cocktail. The thing that will always bring you energy. Ew, we hate Gaston. Welcome to the Sunlit Plateau. I would love more of an entry into here, but it hasn't quite worked out that way. Ugh, excuse me. It is what it is. One of the first things I ever put up here was Wally's house. I think it just fits the vibe. The yellow, the kind of like, it's almost like giving sort of like desert Mad Max-y vibes, so we keep him up here. Also, he loves to garden, so we keep him kind of next to the orchard up here, which I would love to revamp and do something cooler with this, but I just don't exactly know what to do. I think I'm allowed to put flooring down, but I hate this fence. It's giving New York Public Park, and I just don't think that's the vibe up here. So at some point I'd like to change out this fence. I also don't exactly know what's going on with this table. I know Wally needs a place to entertain all of his friends, but I don't always love the aesthetic of it. But it's been a good, like, placeholder. Same thing with this over here. I really wanted to do something cool with these benches, but at the time we didn't have a ton of stuff. The store wasn't as big as it is now, and also, like I said, I'm just kind of like a normal grindy player, so this is all that I had, and I still think it's very cute. I still think it's a nice little natural like bench area. Over here, we have Pride Rock. I didn't exactly know where to put them. I wanted it to be like in its own separate spot, so I shoved it back here. And it's just kind of worked. I like that. Oop, I like that the little floating rock is behind it, and it's just worked out fine being over here, kind of tucked into this corner. I tried to add a little bit of pizzazz to this to make it feel like it was part of, like, that this is just kind of like a natural desert-y area. And then we have the built-out DIY station that just, again, it just didn't look like, you don't just want to sit the table there. I want it to look purposeful, so just adding a little bit of something to give it some zhuzh. We learned our lesson about putting the trellis on the back, because when you zoom in to actually build something, you can't see yourself, and sometimes it glitches the game, so I just took them out. So you can have a nice view while you build Miracle Pickaxe Potion. Added another one of these here. Again, just to kind of like build out some of it. This area could use some zhuzh, but I just have a feeling that we're going to get more characters who fit into this aesthetic. And then we're going to need more space. Because I think at some point, like if you look at who's coming, there's also so much more stuff that fits this aesthetic now that the DLC's out. A lot of the stuff for the other island fits into this aesthetic, so I'll probably at some point come back and put more things over here. Again, haven't really done anything over here. Wanted to wait. And lastly, we have probably our most flop and untouched area, but honestly one of my favorite areas is the Forgotten Lands. And truly, it is forgotten to me. Like, she hasn't done much. When Fairy Godmother came and they said, do up her house, I said, okay, sure. I'll give her some lampposts, some red, white, and blue flowers, because I feel like she likes patriotism. She's an old white woman. And I was like, this is cute. Added the fountain. And then otherwise there's nothing up here. Like, I just feel like there's something so cool that I debated moving my house up here, but I feel like it's too far from the stuff that I go to, like, every time I play this game. So I didn't move it up here, even though I think this area is giving more spooky. But I just don't feel like we have the stuff yet. There's not enough villain-esque things to make this area what I think it should be. So I'm leaving it, and I'm being patient. So otherwise you can tell, she's just a mess. And we're leaving it like that. Just to be safe. That way we can have the coolest island and keep adding more stuff, because this game, with how many updates we get a year, this game is ever evolving, okay? And I feel like if you don't leave the space to build things, you're not gonna ever, like, you're constantly gonna be having to make huge changes, which is just not what I want to do. So, my goal for this is to do these every so often from now on, so you guys can see how I'm changing things, what's going on with my island. But now you get a whole big view of what Clark's got going on. And I'll do a part 2 of this to go through everything in my house, which is equally as chaotic as my island. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate it. And if you liked this video, drop a like, leave me a comment on what you think I should do next with my house. And I'll see y'all next time here on YouTube or on Twitch. Bye!